What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have the final review on the 2026 USACC group build, and this year's pick was from Fred Henry over at West George Rogers and Customs, and he has chosen the Revell 1969 Camaro. It can be any kind of Camaro. It can be the SS, it can be the Z28, Yanko, whatever. Smallest is 1969 Camaro from Revell or monogram 1/24 scale. And this is the way I took mine. So my particular one was the monogram. This is actually the monogram Indy pace car, a convertible version of the car. Now there's multiple reasons why I didn't do the Indy pace car or anything like that. And actually this is actually my third choice of doing this build, because I had a plan A. My plan A was doing a wide body Camaro coupe, but then I saw Fred Henry did that video as well, and I saw Fred was going to do that kit as well with the wide body. I was like, you know what, since this is Fred's pick, I'm going to let him do his own thing. So I went to my plan B, and I found this kit at a spot meet, this convertible Indy pace car. So I was like, oh, that'd be pretty cool to do a convertible Camaro. So my plan B was to do a convertible Camaro, but as a street car, but you know, with custom wheels, put some bigger back wheels in the back. So I got to digging into the chassis and stuff, got to cutting stuff, and then I actually cut a little bit too far, where the chassis is a little bit too far from being saved. So that came to my plan C, where I just cut off the whole back half and turn it into a Pro Street. So this is where we came at, and this is not what I had in mind at the beginning, but I gotta say, this thing turned out so freaking good. So this is a Pro Street convertible Camaro. This is not like a full-on Pro Street where he's taking it down to a track every single weekend and doing some really hardcore competition, because the convertibles are not really meant for that. This is meant for like a street and just, you know, weekend cruising. So let's go ahead and show you what we did to mine. So since I was doing a Pro Street, Fred Henry obviously loves doing Pro Street cars, so it actually kind of made sense. So I kind of want to do in his red. So Fred told me his favorite red, and which is bright red from Tamiya, and that's what this was. So what you normally do is you prime it, paint it, do the base color pink or use pink primer, and then you put on your base coat or main coat of bright red. So that turned out pretty good. I used my Airbrush for this, and it looks so darn good. This red is insanely bright. I mean, it's really poppy. You have to really see this thing in person to really enjoy it. Then of course we went over it with 2K clear from finish 1 just to finish it all off. So that looks pretty darn good. The back, and I did a little bit of trim back here on the window, so I did a little bit black, flat black. This is actually from Tamiya, and then I didn't want it super flat, so I went over it with some polish, and that actually kind of pointed up, but it still looks flat, so it looks really good. We did have to cut the stock hood open for this big old engine that is under there. We'll get to that here in a little bit, but overall the exterior turned out pretty good. Not much modification we had to do except the hood, and the thing turned out pretty good. All the chrome has been stripped and repainted in Alcrad chrome. That just goes for all the chrome you see here. It's just, I don't like the kit chrome. It just looks super toyish to me. So the Alcrad chrome looks really realistic. The lower splitter down here is 3D printed. That gives it a more aggressive look, and that we did in flat black as well. So that's pretty much about it for the exterior. So let's go ahead and go to the chassis. So like I mentioned, the chassis, I did a 3D printed back half. So this is a 3D printed Pro Street back half. I got on Close 3D. I will provide a link down below if you are interested. But that looks pretty good. It has a 4-link suspension setup to it, and it looks absolutely fantastic. Stock drive shaft hooked right to it. I did cut the exhaust back a little bit, and that gives it that, you know, custom exhaust, because you can't fit that stock exhaust through the Pro Street back half. So the underside looks really good. Painted it all flat black and just nice basic down there. So the chassis turned out fantastic. Let's go ahead and go to the engine. So the engine, this is actually the stock or the kit engine that comes in this kit. It is a Chevy big block engine, which is actually pretty cool, and that's another reason why I did not do the Indy pace car, because I have no idea what the kit engine or the stock engine is, because I've seen it online where they had a small block and I saw online they had a big block. You know, you just don't know which Indy pace car was actually realistic because people copied it all the time. So I didn't want to make a mistake and just put in the wrong engine in an Indy pace car. So that's another reason why we didn't do Indy pace car. But this engine is pretty good. We did add some 3D printed parts to it, of course, to make the blower. So the blower parts are 3D printed. That goes for the belts and pulleys, the big belts and pulleys. That went for the big blower, the supercharger, and the intake and stuff, the book texture, all that stuff is 3D printed. So that was pretty good. We did put on one parts by parts alternator. Or no, alternator is 3D printed, but you know, it's parts by parts belt and pulley system on there for the alternator, because you know you need an alternator to charge this thing up because for street legal. So that looks pretty good. And the whole thing looks pretty good. We did wire and plumb the thing a little bit with some spark plugs. We did add some Protec exhaust, or not Protec, but you know, exhaust, but you know, coolant hoses on there and stuff. So that looks pretty good. But yeah, the whole engine bay turned out pretty good. We did the same body cover on the firewall, and then everything else is flat black on there. So yeah, the engine turned out pretty good. I'm really happy how that thing turned out. Let's go ahead and go to the interior. Interior is where this thing shines because you can definitely see it. So first things first, I did a 3D printed roll cage, or like a half cage you want to call it. I did that in body color, so that looks pretty good. And also I did a 3D printed fire extinguisher in the back. We did that in white, so it kind of stands out. Since it is a Pro Street, you know, you do drag race at least once or twice a year, so you need some kind of fire extinguisher just in case it does catch a fire. So that is 3D printed, and everything else is basically stock from the kit. We did a two-tone. We did a flat black dashboard. That's actually not flat black. That's satin black from Ammo by Meg, their interior lineup, and then we did their leather interior and leather brown for the seats and door panels. Just give that contrast, and it looks really good. We did their wood tone for the dashboard, the steering wheel, and the center console. And of course, we did some flocking to finish it all off, and also a little bit of seat belts here and there as well. So, but yeah, that turned out pretty good. But overall, this is a really fun build. A really awesome pick from Fred. Absolutely fantastic kit. These 69 Camaros from Revell are just really nice kits. There's multiple versions of them out there, which is really cool. So, and you can do I just can't wait to see everybody else's builds because everybody's posting their videos today. Like this video is going live, but yeah, the 69 Camaro from what Fred picked is an awesome pick. This is a really awesome kit. There's so much to do with it, and so since mine was a Plan, you know, C, you know, it still turned out pretty good. I'm really happy how mine turned out, and it's just really awesome. But overall, guys, that's it from my build. Turned out really good, and just got mine done a few days ago, Friday or Thursday night. We actually just got mine done. So, but I'm really happy with it, and be going to display case and looking pretty. And yeah, and also one more thing I forgot to mention is the wheels and tires. Wheels and tires are 3D printed as well. We did add some treaded tires for the back, of course, to make it for a street legal Pro Street. So just I totally forgot about that. And yeah, so the front wheel tires, front and back wheels and tires are 3D printed. So that looks pretty good. But other than that, I think I covered everything from here and out. And yeah, but stay tuned. There's some photos of it in the photo booth at the end, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody else's builds on the channel, on the videos, or on YouTube, and I'm looking forward to that. But all right, guys, that's it for my build and for the USACC 2026 group build. But until my next video, we'll catch you guys next time.